It's time, my friends, and I'm glad that a lot of you are looking forward to this. We're about to start the Friar's Gauntlet. Before we get started, I want to take a second to kind of explain a couple of the parameters, a few things. Here on the nav, you can already see that we've got 3 laps set up with the Friar's course. Down and back scenario, so the way back, I might explain some of the things that happened on the lap, maybe speed it up, because this is going to be a longer video. We're looking at potentially 45 minutes to an hour worth of driving. Condensing the return trip a bit, the portion that's not as fun or as challenging as the Friar's Challenge portion might help a little bit, but we'll have to see. I'm going to include chapter segments for laps 1, 2, and 3. We're going to throw up the disengagement and intervention counter. That way we can see all the involvement that I have to use. When this completed the Friar's Challenge on Wednesday, I didn't have to disengage, nor did I have to intervene. I didn't have to apply throttle, cancel lanes. It was truly a unicorn run. So what we're doing today is we're figuring out if that's a fluke or if this can do it 3 times. Now, I'll be upfront with you. I do not think this is going to be successful. I'm assigning a probability of maybe 20%. I feel like that's being generous just because we've seen it complete it once. This is a very difficult course involving City Streets Beta and Navigate on Autopilot code, the older public build, as I've also called it. So this will also allow us to see if there's been any improvement to that portion of the self-driving. I'm expecting, okay, let's see, make some predictions here. I think we might get the 163 merge 1 time out of 3. I think we're gonna get the red hands freak out at least twice. I think we're gonna go into the hotel circle exit far too fast at least once, maybe twice, but I'm gonna say once. And I think we're gonna get stuck at the hairpin at least twice, and the final turn, it's gonna mess that up at least once. The return trip, I'm still gonna log disengagements and interventions and let you see it, and then let me know in the comments what you think of the total experience. Give me your impressions on how I'm running the Friar's Gauntlet and the return trip, and if you'd like to see more detail on the return trip. If by some crazy chance we complete all 3 laps of the Friar's Challenge without me having to disengage, then we'll just have to do something even harder. So my settings, I'm running exactly as I did when it completed the first challenge. So we're running chill squared, chill full self-driving beta mode, chill drive mode with about a 5% speed offset, and we're gonna see what happens. Oh, also, right before we get started, we're using the waypoints to kind of do this down and back circuit. So it might not function perfectly. So hopefully you guys can understand if I have to finagle with this to make this run the course properly. But we're using my old waypoints trick that I did a video on a long time ago, where before getting to the very end, you just delete the waypoint and hit done, and the car will continue to the next waypoint. If that works well, we should hit the down and back portions of these laps without much problem, but there's only one way to find out. So I won't take up any more of your time. Let's start the Friar's Gauntlet. We are engaged. Okay. I don't know about you. I'm nervous. Man, this car is really out there. Oh, this U-Haul truck was here earlier when I had to go charge the car. So it is almost 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So it's going to be pretty busy. Saturdays in San Diego are very busy. The weather looks okay. I was a little worried we might see some rain during this, but I think we might be able to manage all 3 laps without bad weather getting involved. The course is hard enough, man. Give me a break. All right, got a pretty busy intersection here. This little Ford's just gonna run through it, and then so is this guy. All right, so we're just gonna wait because I don't want to get involved at all. We're creeping forward. The car's like, okay, humans are letting me go. Okay, this little part of this truck's sticking out pretty far, but we're clearing it really well. We're also going to see just how smoothly, if at all, we can replicate this turn onto the 163 merge. It's a deep, about 120-degree turn to a bit of a negative bank. It's pretty badly designed. You know, it's one thing I've noticed about a lot of these roads, letting the car drive it, is that we humans can deal with a lot, but there's a lot of really badly designed things. I can already see up here, this cross traffic seems to be pretty busy. That might be the gap we want right there. Getting a little squirrely here. Don't let the nerves get to you, Mew. No, it did this when it completed the Friar's Challenge too, so hey, we're looking for consistency, right? can barely see past these cars. It looks clear. We got a little white car coming, little Toyota. We're okay, good. It hit the brakes. That was a little jolty, but at least it didn't cut in front of the cars. Okay, now's your chance. I'm not on the throttle. We're going really slow. This is for science. Okay. All right, the first really challenging portion of this course. Pretty good, pretty good. Little on the brakes there, which is kind of unnecessary, but that wasn't bad. Here we go. Lap 1, merge 1 to 163. And this is, oh, we're clear after this little Nissan. Come on, come on, come on, get it, get it, get it. Oh boy! I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I was figuring that'd be a fail, and it would just like crush our hopes for this gauntlet. But it did it. It's 2 for 2 on the 163 merger, considering the last video, the last time we did this challenge. And I know I'm not doing this live, which would be pretty cool. Hopefully when my channel gets bigger, I can do that. That'd be kind of fun. But, all right, so here comes the split exit that usually gives us the red hands, as it last minute would freak out and correct. If you've seen previous videos before the last one, of course, then you know what I'm talking about here. So we'll see. Do we get the red hands? We'll see how good my predictions turned out to be after this. That caution lights got us slowing down quite a bit. I'm not on the throttle or anything. I mean, it is a pretty harsh exit here. Okay, come on. What you got? What you got? Oh, yep, I took over. That was going to be a red hand scenario, but that was a lot worse than in the past. And now that I've re-engaged, let's see if we'll come through here too fast. So that's a fail on lap 1, and we're accelerating. We're accelerating. Oh, I gotta take over. Yep, that's too much speed. That was a little bit more than last time. Now, as a lot of you have pointed out, it's good to remember this is on NOA code. This is on the public build code, the highway stuff. And, you know, those two scenarios right there are as bad as they've been before Wednesday. But we got 2 more laps to see if it can handle that. So now what we have coming up here on the screen, you can see, is the hairpin. We've got to merge here with these cars, which typically isn't an issue, because now we're back on City Streets code, and I actually feel a lot more confident with this. So we're really going to be able to see the difference in improvement, or maybe not. That's not really the right way to say it, because I don't really think there's been a whole lot of improvement or attention given to the NOA code, because this is obviously the bread and butter. This is the hard stuff, and eventually it'll override the old code anyway. Well, let's see if I have to give it throttle through this hairpin. Wednesday was the first time, that Friar's video was the first time I did not have to assist it through here, because it would hold people up and treat this as like a weird stop yield scenario. There is no signage for us to stop here, other than it just briefly checking that we're clear, and we're stopping. Okay, but at least it's moving now. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It wasn't an excessive amount of time. It was just making sure it was safe. Now we're coming up to our double left lane turn scenario. And let's see if we get over any sooner than normal here. It's usually pretty late. It's like when we get to this Arlo sign, and then it's like, all right, let's get over. Ooh, this is a lot later. As long as we stay in this lane, which it has done pretty well. Okay, and we have some pedestrians crossing. We've got a pretty good sized intersection worth of cars here. We got a bus to our right, which is freaking out the car, but it corrected itself. That's good, and there was no one to our left. You know, I wouldn't have let it jump or do anything weird if there was somebody there. The system does not like large vehicles, especially buses. I mean, it's probably because that's the most often large vehicle that I'll encounter is, you know, the MTS bus. And they don't care about staying in their lane either. The buses will just drive wherever they want. So, all right. This last leg of the challenge really isn't anything challenging. We've effectively gone through all the hard points. We very smoothly and very well executed the 163 merge, which is the most challenging thing in my opinion to do, and that was really good. If it does that every time, I'll be satisfied, because a lot of the only other failures have been on the old code, on the old NOA or Navigate on Autopilot code that hasn't really gotten any love to the best of our knowledge. So when the stack merger happens and we are finally on one code stack, come on, don't get sloppy now. I think that will be rectified and the Friar's challenge will no longer be a challenge. Which would be kind of sad, actually. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, now's the time where I need to make sure I get in here, delete this stop, hit done, and now the vehicle should, that looks crazy, wow, because it's got the ghost of the next lap in there. So we're getting ready to go on the return trip. I didn't let it give us the red hands because it was pretty bad. I'm sure you'll see it in the video. Like, it was ready to take that exit full on and then cut back, and I took over. There wasn't anyone around us to worry about. You know, I am making sure that, you know, safety first. Even though I'm a little bit more risky by myself, there's no reason to put anyone in any sort of danger. But that's kind of sad. You know, first lap was a failure, but we got two more. Now, this is all about a measure of consistency. I want to see it complete all of the City Streets Beta stuff without fail. Even if it's a little sloppy around the edges, if it does all the City Street stuff without fail, that is a massive marker for consistency and improvement. Oh, so there's a cool improvement that I've been noticing, but I haven't really been able to catch on video. It goes wide on lane selection now when it comes to making turns. It's not always the immediate lane, which has been a problem in previous versions of the City Streets Beta. Good correction there, good correction. We're still on City Streets code, so it's actually handling this quite well. We actually got to get over a whole nother lane here to avoid getting sucked into this merge. Damn. Yeah, I gotta take over. It wasn't fast enough. And I'm gonna have to get over again, so this is annoying, but it's a problem with the NOA code. It can't act fast enough because it needs that either confirmation with the turn stock or wait on the wheel to execute lane changes. It's not snappy enough to be able to reliably get through those scenarios. This is why we really need that merger. So this is actually kind of a challenging little exit here, because it's to the left, it splits to a stop sign, and to the right, it's a yield, to then another sort of, well, not even another yield scenario. It's actually kind of like the hairpin that we go through, but the car gets confused because of there being a stop sign right there, and then the turn. So yeah, here's where it splits. 1010 too kept on getting into that left lane every time. It was so bad. The execution on decision making was just awful. So I'm glad that we at least have that back in a large way with this system. Oh, and I gotta give it throttle here because it's just sitting here. And I'm not on the throttle now. And so here you can see this weird scenario. I got someone behind me, so I don't want to waste their time. Giving it throttle again. Okay. So we are approaching Herbert Street for lap 2, the Friar's Challenge, as long as the car can get over here on its own. It's also kind of a little tough right corner. It's about a 100-degree corner going uphill. Very interesting. There we go. And you can see the City Streets code is doing a fantastic job. It really is. It is doing an amazing job. I have not, if you've paid attention, I have not had to actually disengage yet on the City Streets code. It's only been on the highway. So that is a good sign. Still annoying because I would love to just ace this Friar's Challenge, but there's a reason I have it. It's a reason it's a benchmark for the system as a whole. If I wanted something just to test the City Street side, then I would. You know, I'd find some other route. But when we do get the stack merger, it'll become even more clear how important this course was or is for testing the whole thing. Here we go. That was really good. I didn't give it any throttle there. That's the kind of improvement in snappy decision making that it's gotten. It's not perfect, but it is substantially better than it was. All right, once we complete this left-hand turn, I should be able to delete the next waypoint, which will then allow us to flow right into lap 2. And we'll see if we get that consistent 163 merge. That's probably what I'm the most excited about, because that has been the pivotal moment for the system. The end-all, be-all of the Friar's Challenge. If it can't complete that merge, then the rest of the course is a waste of time. Come on. Yeah, this little Nissan was out real far. I gotta give it throttle here just because we're sitting in the intersection. Safety first, man. Okay, let's delete Herbert Street. Hit done. And it should route us. Yes, okay, it didn't make us go left here. Perfect. All right, here we go. So this is the 7-Eleven I usually reference that I'm starting across the street from. And here we are. We are turning on to lap 2. So far, the waypoint lap strategy is working beautifully. And please, talk to me in the comments, everybody. I love all the feedback, the ideas. Actually, another subscriber gave me the idea of getting more people involved with the Friar's Challenge. I let him know because he wants to run this course. If any of you are beta testers in San Diego or find yourself in San Diego and you want to run this course with me, you know, make it into a video, maybe get like a 3 to 4 car convoy on the Friar's Challenge, or hop into each other's cars to compare the experience in different cars, like I'd be your passenger, you'd be my passenger. Or if you're just in San Diego and you want to experience this and you like what I do, let me know. I can meet you at the 7-Eleven, you hop in the car and we go for a ride on the Friar's Challenge. I love it. You know, I give rides to people all day, and the beta convoy idea is really exciting. But let me know. Let me know what you all think. And if any of you are interested, then you can find my email on the channel. Hit me up at CYBRLFT@gmail.com and we can make something happen. Well, and as I alluded to earlier, I do have ideas for something even harder than this for when the challenge is completed. But it's not even worth getting into. We're sitting here, it's waiting for the Jeep. Of course, when the Jeep starts going, we start going. I'm giving it throttle. Ah, that's so aggravating. You know what's kind of funny though? If you think about it, it is behaving more like a human. I've heard that, I don't know where I just heard that somewhere, but I heard that somewhere. I don't know if it was a comment on my channel or me watching another channel. But right there, you could see how it's acting like another human in the sense that both the car and that Jeep started going at the same time, just like you would, and you're like, oh, wait, who's going? Who's going? Okay, car. No car. Creeping. Car, coming fast. We're stopping. We're creeping. That's impressive. Okay, I was ready, but I knew we weren't too close to it. It like timed itself to go in. I didn't give it any throttle or anything. And we are just diving right into here. Still a little rough, but far and above the previous builds. Lap 2, 163 merger. Will it happen? Oh, come on, Mew. We're actually clear again. What are the odds of that? Turn signal on. Taking too long. Taking way too long. Dang it. Oh. No. Ah. The utter feeling of defeat. Lap 2's a fail right there. That's it. But we'll see how it does with the rest for consistency. It's like a couple of you have said, and I agree, Friar's Challenge isn't beaten. It was accomplished once, but it isn't beaten. This is a really hard course. Kind of reminds me of like the high level difficulty on a racing game. No, I mean, honestly, this would make one sick racetrack with these tight corners, hairpins, S-curves, quick decision making. Minus the starting portion that's just going through a residential area with some stop signs. But that's kind of a nice way to get tuned in for it. All right, here we go, here we go. Come on, NOA, come on, NOA. Dang it. Same problem. Same problem. I know technically I predicted we would get red hands. Hopefully you guys can understand that I just don't want to let it do that. There's a lot of people out. Okay, we're accelerating. Still accelerating. Decelerating. Decelerating much faster. Corrected! Boom! Okay, there we go. That was good. That makes me happy. So it's weird. Certain parts of the course are passing and failing in each lap so far. Failed the 163 merge. Failed that darn exit twice in a row. And it, man, it's weird. Sorry, I'm getting kind of twisted up in my words trying to think about this and articulate it, but that exit it should not be as hard as it is for the system. And hopefully someone with Tesla finally watches this. I mean, thanks to all of you liking and subscribing and sharing, I'm blown away, utterly blown away by the view count of my last video with customers and even the Friar's Challenge video and my subscriber count. So just real quick, thank you so much to everybody who is coming back and sharing the video and getting it out there, because my gosh, what are we doing now? That's new. That is an utter fail. What is happening? Why? We have a course flop. What the heck? I don't know what happened here. Hang on. I'm so lost. I'm not sure. Hey, I predicted meltdown, and we got meltdown. Okay, so I gotta do something real quick. Maybe the car got mad that I was thanking everybody for watching it fail at all of this. Okay, I'm gonna be excited to watch that back and figure out where the heck. I think that was less the system. Well, I mean, definitely wasn't the autopilot system, but that was probably the waypoint system. It like got confused because it still shows that our next stop is the Friars Road Supercharger, but it's almost like it got confused and wanted to go back to Herbert Street. So that was really weird. Anyway, oh man. All right, so we're back at it now. Oh boy. But again, thank you. My whole point for that sappy moment was to say that, you know, maybe someone at Tesla is watching these and can see that exit and maybe give it some attention. Like, it seems like some beta testers are catching Tesla's eye. It'd be really cool to do that myself, because I mean, I'm right here in San Diego. Let's go. If there's a Tesla engineer watching or an AI guy, email me. Let's do this course together. Let's get some real data. Okay, let's do it. So unlike lap 1, this time we did have City Streets failure. Primarily thinking about the 163 merge, and that was obvious. It waited way too long. It was totally clear. It just did not recognize and make the decision. And then the really weird navigational fluke that had us in the wrong lane, and yeah, I don't know what that was. I'm not really gonna put that on the beta as much as maps and the waypoint setup. So interesting. All right, we know how all of this goes, so I'm probably gonna fast forward through the final leg of the challenge here and get to lap 3. Here we are coming off of NOA code back to City Streets Beta. Quite the challenge, quite the challenge. Likely have to give it throttle through these two portions again. Had the same failure on the NOA system, trying to get out of those merge lanes like last time. So far, city streets wise, we've only had one disengagement. Okay, I'm giving it throttle because, man, we're sitting back here. Can't even see if a car's coming. We're clear. It's going wide. It's freaking out again, trying to take us to a draw. Oh, no, dang it. That time there wasn't even an issue with the maps. The system's just like, go left. See, I bring you guys the truth. I don't butter it up. When it does great, I let you know. When it does bad, I let you know. Well, we gotta get over here, and it is trying to speed up. It's Prius. It's always a Prius causing trouble. Okay. Prius is still right behind me with its signal on, not getting over, and we're coming into this corner pretty well. It's weird. Two things that have never happened before are that getting into the improper lane off of that yield. And you know, interesting. That yield with the stop in the right throughput is just like the hairpin that we saw the fluke on with the stop and the right throughput. So, very interesting. Let's see if it does it a third time. Okay, we need to go. This human doesn't know what they're doing. Left turn signal on, then they decide to go right. We got a pedestrian here looking to cross. They waited, which is good. All right, coming into the final left before starting lap 3 of the Friars Challenge. We're decelerating a little bit too much. We need to commit through here. We need to commit. I'm giving it throttle. I think I had to give it throttle through here last time because of someone in the intersection. Okay, cool. Good execution on getting into the left lane. We're gonna go in, delete the final waypoint. We're gonna start lap 3. We got a lot of peds here crossing. Whoa, we're going kind of fast. There, okay, good. It didn't stop into a corner. It stopped early, pretty abruptly. Nobody behind us, which is good. Safety first. Okay, yeah, it's doing it again. Look at this really weird, well, this time I see it. Like, this is what caused the fluke with that turn last time, and I'm not sure why. It's really weird. It's like an elongated Friars Challenge. So I'm actually going to delete that to make it fresh, restart it. What is happening? That is, why is it, That's not a move you can do. It wants to do a U-turn at the exit to go down and get back on. This is just a total maps fail. Okay, you know what? Since lap 3 is just starting, we're gonna do something real quick. I'm not gonna cut video because I promised we would see this all the way through, so I'm just gonna fast forward this part. We're gonna do a quick screen reset. Boom, we're back. Okay. It looked like the map data just had to repopulate, and we're back. All right. You know, there's a thing in science called unknown unknowns when it comes to variables. There are things you know. There are things you know you don't know. And there are things you don't know that you don't know. And we're experiencing that with doing the Friar's Gauntlet. The weird map glitch having us go way out of the way, causing really strange outliers while using the waypoints. But we're learning. This has been consistent every time. It's like it wants to lead to the right, and then it goes, there's cars there. It was really impressive last time it made this maneuver because it led itself right next to the car in a way that would probably make a lot of people pucker up, but I'm quite seasoned with this. Worried about this guy parallel parking. She's not too good at it. Okay, no, we cannot go yet. And this is choppy. Okay, go, go, go. I didn't have to give any throttle. That's good. Most of the time, you don't have to give it any throttle. Here we go. The final chance. 163 merge. This time we got cars coming. It feels right. Immediately, lane turn signal on. Fail. Ah, unfortunate. All right, we're gonna finish this out though. Let's see. For science, the rest of the experiment must be completed, and I will give my thoughts afterwards. And I would love to hear your thoughts. Again, with all of your eyes on this, being able to see things that I might not be catching in the moment, I'll be watching this back a lot myself. I like to analyze these videos after I've made them to give it a different perspective and see if I can spot things that might cause different issues in different scenarios. So, let me know what you think. All the feedback is good feedback. The road's progressively gotten more and more busy too, which for that 163, it doesn't really count. Every time we had a clear chance to get over. The second time it was very obvious that it was taking way too long. We have nobody in the exit lane to our right. We have a truck that's about 7 or 8 car lengths behind us. Nope. 3 for 3, red hands failure without the red hands, because I'm not trying to be that irresponsible, because it would jump the median. That's how you get the red hands. The car truly freaks out. All right, but let's see here. We're actually, no, now we're accelerating. Damn it, come on. Decel, decel, decel. No, this feels good. This feels good. I know it beeped, but that was actually even better than Wednesday's. That wasn't bad. And so far, the hairpin is accurate. I'm watching it this time. I'm not gonna go on a sappy thank you story, though I meant it. Sincerely, truly. I love you guys. Oh man, I can't believe I just said that. I'm one of those guys now. Hey, you're getting 100% authentic cause. My wife would be rolling her eyes so hard right now. Yeah, the second attempt on this hairpin was just a complete WTH, WTF, all the acronyms. I want to see if it'll flow through without me giving it throttle. And understandably checking to make sure everything's clear. Like, yeah, traffic's getting crazy. Like, these cars are all the way back here. I'm gonna be stopped anyway. Oh well, I mean, it's a real world scenario. I'm not trying to give it a optimum route. It's already looking at this car over here to wait, because it seems to be treating this kind of like a 4-way stop, and we're way back here. You need to go. All right, I have to give it throttle. I think this yield and the other yield by my house are on Washington Street. Those are very similar. I'm seeing that now. All the times I've taken them separately, I never really put them as a similar scenario, but they are identical. In all this testing, no phantom braking. Pretty happy about that. Everything's had a very obvious reason. Okay, and even later, ugh. I mean, there's never really anybody behind us here. This is a pretty unused left-hand turn, which is fine. Ooh, this time we have a pedestrian waiting at the edge of the little cart. Let's see if that throws the system off. Okay, here we go. Got cars too. This pedestrian's moving around, which might freak it out. No, cool. Awesome. That's been consistent success on that turn every time. It's hard to believe it was ever a concern, but in the past, it was really bad. Of course, that was more so it sitting in both turn lanes and taking up space and blocking people and just being a really... I don't even know the words. Fill in the blank here. Well, we've never really failed this last portion, even though I probably just jinxed it. But I think it's a good time to start giving my thoughts. As I don't remember my exact predictions, at the end of this video, I'm gonna put up my predictions for how it would do compared to what it actually did. And you guys can look at all the information. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty sad about the 163. With it hitting it the first time perfectly, I thought that was a really good sign that it would do it the following 2 times, but it's still a really challenging, short distance, short amount of time. You need rapid and committed decision making and execution to get through there. So it's definitely an improvement. I mean, 2 very smoothly done times versus the 1 fluke and constant failures. I'll take that. You know, that's a step in the right direction. That's consistent there too, getting a little squiggly with the lane lines being gone. The rather expected but annoying portion is the red hands exit issue and the going way too fast to the corner. Now, granted, though it was going too fast through that corner, twice it corrected its acceleration and actually slowed down enough to take it safely. It beeped at us every time, but I didn't have to take over except the 1 time through the Hotel Circle exit. And then the hairpin's interesting. It's the car easily gets confused because there is a stop sign right there and another path of travel, and it's a mix of a 4-way stop and a throughput where you don't even yield. You have your own lane, so you would just keep going. I'm gonna take over here because we are charged up and don't need to actually go into the Friars Valley supercharger. It's consistently disengaged in a lot of spots on the NOA code. It's, for example, on the return trip, dealing with the merge lanes to get back to Washington Street, I had to take over both times because it just doesn't have the ability to make that snappy decision making on the old code. And it does still feel good that most of the problems seem to be on the old code with regard to the Friars Challenge. So I hope you guys enjoyed that very long but all-inclusive approach to the Friars Challenge, dubbed the Friars Gauntlet. And yeah, hit me up, let me know if you guys want to run the challenge or, you know, do it as a group or whatever. I feel like I've been talking enough. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.